Hey, good morning. As I'm reading in Exodus chapter 28 this morning, I ran into a verse that had some similar words in it. So in verse 41, it says, "You shall put the priestly clothes on Aaron your brother and on his sons with him. You shall anoint them, consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister to me as priests." So when I came to this verse, I made note of the words anoint them, consecrate them, and sanctify them. Because in a lot of contexts, those are very similar words and they can have very similar meanings. So I'm like, they're all three together. So what does that mean? So I dug a little bit deeper and studied out some of the words. Now, again, I'm not a Hebrew scholar. I'm not a Greek scholar. I do well with English. So as I'm reading that, I've started doing some research on it. And to anoint means to smear or rub with oil. We see in the Old Testament a lot of times where someone was anointed, such as when David was anointed king, or Saul was anointed king, or in this case where Aaron was anointed to be the priest of God. So when we see these things, uh, when we see these things, it's not that you can just go out and put oil on yourself and be anointed, because it had to come from instruction from God. God told Samuel, anoint David. Go to David's dad's house. Go through all these people. When I'll show you the one that you need to anoint. So when he got to David, God said, "This is the one. Anoint him." And he took a horn of oil and poured it on his head as a symbol of God's choosing him. It's a symbolic choosing. So we see that. The second word, consecrate them, is what it says in the New King James, and that is to fill the hand. And so when we think about consecrating them, it is a case of dedicating or equipping them to God, that they have been consecrated, they have been equipped, they have been dedicated to serving the Lord. And then the last word, sanctify them. Sanctify means to set apart. So Aaron and his sons were not supposed to herd sheep. They were not supposed to farm the land. They weren't supposed to do any of those things. They weren't supposed to go to war. Their job was to serve God. They had been, to use this word, they had been sanctified. They had been set apart for God's purpose. So when we see these together, we see that God wanted them to be identified as having been chosen by God, that he wanted them to be equipped and dedicated to serving the Lord, and that he wanted them to be set apart so that their job would be serving God. I hope that helps you. Feel free to dig a little bit deeper if you want to. That was just what I came up with as I was studying. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day today.